Yes, good evening to all the students of mine, SLW 600, SLW 616, SLW 646, SLW 670. For everyone, it is a compulsory, they have to supposed to solve the problem question in the Iraq model. And if it is a total case law is given, especially to the SLW 600, that is the advanced legal reasoning, the full case law would be given in the examination. At that instance, they are supposed to solve we don't say solve, they have to make the case briefing in the P-FIRAC style or method. And I have posted several relevant handouts to your respective emails so that tomorrow you cannot deny that, sir, we did not receive it. WhatsApp, there is a possibility, but in the email, there is no such a thing because it is there in my sent box also. Is it clear? Say yes.
Yes, Professor.
Yes, Professor.
Read what I posted on the screen. Anyone can unmute and read.
Yes, Professor. Point to consider when using IRAC methods. Be brief. Stick to the facts. Double check your facts. Answer who, what, when, why, where. Check for grammar and punctuation errors.
Why did you join with my meeting number? Why you did not join with your name? Sir, I did not have the computer service, sir. Because I clicked it, automatically it came, sir. No, they will ask you, you want to join with your name, you have to write your name, not my meeting number. But anyway, it doesn't matter. You are present, that is more important to me, rather than how you joined. Now, without wasting the time, because in my first session, which started at the 6:10 to 7 o'clock p.m. today, I held up to the holding. Holding is nothing but the court adjudication, that is when the court held. And when you say court held, in the P-FIRAC model, we will keep it in the side heading conclusion. When you say the conclusion, suppose if there are 4 issues are there in the case briefing or the problem question, there should be 4 paragraphs in conclusion. The first paragraph reflects the first issue, its application, and how it is held by the court in the first paragraph under the conclusion. Second issue is concerned how it is concluded by the court in the second paragraph under the conclusion. If it is having the third issue, it will be third paragraph shows. That means if the issues are 4, then 4 paragraphs should appear in the conclusion. Sir, what about the application? In application also, first issue, first paragraph application, by using the rules which are applied over there to the facts. The second paragraph shows the second issue, analysis or the application. Sir, you are giving just logically, sir. I gave an example. I sent an example already. You follow it. Of course, I example also here. I put it there. But let me finish this one. Then I can show you the example. How it can be done. I put total judgment of the case law, which is reported or unreported. Doesn't make any difference. And how it could be made in the case briefing in the P-FIRAC method. And when you go for the LST, Law School of Tanzania, they apply the same method. And this method, I am not boasting myself. I myself, only the person will teach in the UDSM at least 13 years by following the PFIRAC model and Iraq model. If you want to guess, if you want to testify, you can go to the UDSM library and see the question papers which are framed by me from the 2004 to 2013. Not 13, 14 also, because I was there up to the 2015. So you could see the PFIRAC model and Iraq model. The problem questions should be solved in the Iraq model or method, and the case briefing should be in the PFIRAC method. So now reasoning is there. If you want to apply the reasoning, you can write the ratio decidendi. If not, you need not to write it. And come to the results are concerned. If you did not agree with the judgment of the court, you can write in the side heading, my opinion. And later on, concurring and dissenting opinions. Yes, when the matter is referred to the bench, there is assenting judgment and there is a dissenting judgment. Which will prevail? Anyone can unmute and give me the answer.
Ascending judgment.
Repeat and say loudly.
Ascending judgment.
Assenting judgment is the why?
Because of the majority of the judges.
Majority of the law, hence the bench should consisting of even number or odd number?
Odd number.
It should be the odd number. What is meant by odd number?
With 3, 5, 7.
The answer is Sharabaro style answer you have to give. That number which is not divided by 2 is a odd number. Example 3, 5, 7, 9, 11. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
That is the style of
Yes,
a
Professor.
Professor Hussain student, and Professor Hussain wants their students also like the Professor Hussain. That is my motto. That is my aim. Is it clear? Say yes.
Yes, yes.
Yes, Professor.
Yes, you do want to ask any question? Can I proceed? Say yes.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes,
See,
Professor.
unless until I get not the reply from you, I already told you, your silence will kill me. I told you several times. Tongue is tight. Yes, I can proceed it. Okay, the brief facts. Does the every brief has to have the listed headings, case name and citation, facts, procedural posters, issues, rules, holding, reasoning, result, and concurring and dissenting opinions? Some of the may have it, some may not have it. Not necessarily every judgment should be a dissenting judgment and there should be a ascending judgment. Unless until if the matter is referred to the bench. So no brief is true for you use. Some cases may not have the concurrence or the dissent. In some, the holding rule might be the same unless you are preparing the brief for a class in which the professor has told you that you must use certain headings, do what works best for you. What is directed, instructed by your professor, you have to write the case brief in that method. And here, the course coordinator for the 4 courses of the masters may give the same thing. Case briefing should be in the PFIRAC method and the problem solving is in Iraq method. So how long should be a brief be? A brief should not be, at least it should be a 1 page, 2 page, okay, at the most 3 pages, not more than 3 pages. I say pages. Pages means one ruled paper or one paper is 1 page. If you write at the back, it's the 2nd page. But in the examination, I will say write both the side of the rule paper. Is it clear? Say yes.
Professor.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
When you are writing the headings, side headings, use the two colors of the pen. Number one, blue color. Number two, black color.
Black.
If you are writing the entire answer in the blue color, highlight should be in the black color. That is the method you would adapt. Of course, the frequently asked question are there. It's a very easy to make it out. I need not to go through it, but I will give the example how it could be written model. And I already posted the model. Smith versus Baker model I already posted to your email. I don't know how many people saw it. So Smith versus Baker, one case law that I posted you, the full case law. It is the full case law. It is the full case law I posted you. It run into the 3 pages. Of course, font size is 12 here, and font is a new Roman, and now it is Arial becomes. So of course, and the pint is a 12 pint, means size of the letter is 12. That's called pint or size. Font is different, pint is different. Font is the new type Roman, caliber, italics, and Arial black. These are all called the fonts of the. And pint or the size means the size of the letter. It's generally we follow the 12 size, and in the body, if it is a footnote, of course in the examination there is no footnote, and if it is a typewritten one, in the footnote we follow the 10 pint, and that to be one line space. But generally in the body 1.5 line spacing if it is a computer based. But in the examination you are writing with the handwriting, hence you need not to follow that point. You follow the ruled paper which is given to you in the examination. You have to do the same thing. Yes, anyone wants to ask anything? Shall I proceed? Anyone wants to ask anything? Shall I proceed?
Proceed, Professor.
Okay, proceed. Nice. So now, this is the entire case law. This case law is Smith versus Baker. And you studied this case law in the law of tort. Are you? Sir, we don't know, sir. Can anyone say what is the facts of the Smith versus Baker case law? Sir, how could you ask such a question which we studied some 3 years to 4 years back? Anyone? Do you know the Smith versus Baker facts of the case law? Either you know it, you tell me. If you don't know it, you say pass on. Don't kill the time.
Pass on.
That is a gentleman agreement. If you don't know it, it's a better you pass on so that I can save my time and I can continue my lecture. See, this is the P-FIRAC model. The entire case law I have given in the examination, and you have to write in this style. And hence, time factor is very important when you are writing the examination. Time management. In the procedure, in the left hand side should have to come. The P should be the capital letter, the other letter should be the small letter, and bold, no underline, no punctuation. Is it clear? Say yes.
Yes, Professor.
Yes, next comes to the title of the case law. Always the title of the case law should be in italics. But it is the center of it. Only the exception is for the title of the case law that we can use in the small letters. But the first letter of the case law should be the capital letter. But again the rule is there. Suppose it's a Smith Turner versus a Baker William. Let us presume it. Let us presume it. Sir, presume it we don't know, sir. You better show in the example. I will give you the example in case if it is so. See, I give the Smith, I will write William Smith. William Smith is one, say about the plaintiff. And defendant is Robert Baker. Robert Baker. B should be the capital letter. I don't think that is visible to you. Is it visible to you? Say Amna. Sasavi. Is it visible to you?
Yes, Professor.
Why don't you speak? If you don't speak, you will kill me. I cannot proceed. So William Smith, plaintiff, and defendant Robert Baker. Let you presume it. And hence the style of writing, you never write William because it is a forename. What about the Smith? It is a surname. So surname comes first. In the same manner, we don't write Robert because say
It is
The first name.
it is the first name or forename, and Baker is the
Surname.
surname. I have to get the answer so that I could know that I am and you are traveling the same, sailing the same boat, reaching to the Unguja. Najua Unguja?
Yes.
Okay. So here what I want to say is here, yes, that is the reason we did not write the forename, we wrote the Smith versus Baker, they are the surnames. That is the style of writing. Then the continuation goes always with the comma. Comma is here. Then I already told you in my earlier classes, when should I have to use the square bracket, when should I have to use the circular bracket. I need not to repeat it because you hear my earlier. A journal, a reporter which is having a 2 volumes, 3 volumes, 4 volumes in a year, such a journal year should be in the square bracket. But a journal which comes once in a year, like a TLR, Tanzania Law Report, it should becomes only in the circular bracket or the round bracket, but not square bracket. AC is the appellate court and the 325 is the page number in the reporter. And beneath we have to write it, who are the judges should be there. And all the judges' names should be appear over there. And later on, it is called, this is the call, it is the crux or the head note of the case law. If you read the head note and the crux of the case law, you understand what happened in the case law. The entire thing will come in the only 4 lines or 5 lines. Like, is it a appeal case law or original jurisdiction case law? Number 1 sentence. This is appeal case law. Hence we can say this is an appeal from the Supreme Court to the House of Lords, whereby then what is the question of law here? What is the contention of the plaintiff? The contention of the plaintiff is, plaintiff, the employee, sued his employer for what? For the negligence which resulted the injury to the plaintiff. That is the question of law. And what is the defense of the employer? The defense of the employer is a quality not fit injury is the defense. But what happened? Whether he could give the proper defense? No, the defendant failed to give the proper defense, the plea as a defense. And what is the conclusion of the court? That is the disposition of the court, the adjudication of the court. Tell me, in this case law. Please tell me in this case law, what is the disposition of the adjudication of the court? The House of Lords. The appeal was dismissed because the defense of the voluntary not finduria of the defendant could not be utilized or applicable over here. So, see, in the 4 lines, in the 3 lines I give, I said 3 lines. I did not say 3 sentences. Am I right?
Yes.
Yes.
Lines are different, sentences are different. Always use the simple sentences. Don't use the complex compound sentence or the compound complex sentence. Use better the small sentences which is having independent clauses, if you know the grammar. So this is the way we can make it out. That is called the crux of the case law should appear in the procedural matter. Now we have to tafuta. What is meant by tafuta? King Reza? Say King Reza.
Search.
You have to search and find out what are the relevant facts in the case law. See, here I will show you the original case law to you. From there you can search it where the case law lies. Okay, just a minute because it is gone somewhere. Okay. Your full case law. See, from this whole case law, you have to search the facts of the case law. Where the facts are there. Generally, in the reported case law, the facts would be at one place. From the allegation amended, a petition appears that the plaintiff, while the employee of the defendant, while engaged in the performance of the manual labor within the provisions of this, of course, I did not find it here. And there is no provision the plaintiff making the, but definitely there would be somewhere the facts of the case law would be given in some area. Yeah, here the plaintiff bases his claim right to maintain the civil action for the recovery damages and the provision of the sections. Of course, he has given voluntary not fit injury, but you have to tafuta where the facts are. The case law is here, and in the examination when you are searching the facts, keep the pencil and write the side here. Here a cursor I am showing, either to the right or to the left. You write here, give you a line and write F. F means fact. Otherwise, you will be lost. 1.5 hours or 1 hour will be taken by the first question. So, fast reading comes at that instance, you can have the practice. You write it when you are reading the case law total. When you are reading the case law, if you find this is the fact, you write F. And when you find this is the question of law, write I, issue. When you find it is an application or argument, write A. When you find it is a held, you write, what do you write? What do you write?
H.
Say again.
H.
H.
When you say held, in the FIRAC model, what do you have to write?
Conclusion.
C.
Yes. C. Conclusion.
You have to write the C.
Yes.
And later on, you compile together. And that is the best method to do. If not, your whole time will go away in only searching the where is the fact. So we be fast and have a practical training, and you can make it and show to me, because I have given, you can choose any model, not necessarily my model. You can choose any decision, any model, but please see that it should be a small, not lengthy pages. At least 3 pages or 4 pages, not more than that. Because the time consuming is more. So I could not give that 2 pages, 3 pages, at the most 3 pages or 2 pages. That means both sides of the page, that is 2 pages case law. Means 2 A4 size. Means both the sides should be written. So a fast reading will make it to know where is the F, where is the I, where is the A, where is the C. And that is the method that you have to adapt it to make it out, to find the case law. From here you have to write the facts, where are the decisions, what the case law they used it. See, for instance, you can Connor's case law, he used it as a persuasive value. Connor's versus Sermet Salva company case law, they used it. Again they used it, Morris versus Modum case law, they used it. And with this case law, where it comes in the caption, These cases which is having the persuasive value in the judgment, under which caption it will come in the side heading? If you know it, you tell me. If you don't know it, you say pass on. Don't waste the time.
Pass on.
It comes under the rules. Whatever the cases, whatever the maxims, whatever the section of the enactments, whatever the dictionaries, whatever the experts, it should come under the rules. The rules means persuasive value of the cases, sections of the enactments, and the Latin maxims, and the experts from the, for instance, in Tanzania, suppose Professor Ghulam Isha Shivji has given in his book his opinion, and we can cite that opinion here. Professor Chris Peter Maina has given some opinion, you can write it. Even Ambassador, suppose I don't know the Ambassador, Professor Costa Rica Mahalu is practiced or not, because generally everybody allowed to practice here, even though he's a full-timer. And Fimbo has given his own. Or any good Samaritan, very well known, like Chipeta has given. You can summarize it and you can keep it, Chipeta version, there in the rules. If any dictionary meaning is given over there, yes, you can write the dictionary. What is the famous dictionary in the law?
Black's Road
Give me the answer. If you don't know, you say pass on.
Black
Black's
Law
Road
Dictionary.
Black's Law Dictionary. Generally, we use the Black Law Dictionary. In the encyclopedia as concerned, we can write the that is the Encyclopedia of the Americana, Encyclopedia of the Britannica. So that things come under the rules. And with the facts, you can easily make it out. What are the material facts should be there? If you hear my first today lecture at 6:10 to 7 o'clock, I already given the what are the relevant facts should be there to be included. What are the irrelevant facts would be there in my video. And just go through it and watch it. And this comes only through the practice. If you don't do the practice, you cannot do anything. It comes to the practice. You make a practice and show to me and how you wrote it. But when you write it, you have to send me to both the original decision, original judgment, plus what you wrote the PIFIRAC model in the email. I can correct it and send you back. Because I did this exercise several years. From 2004 till now I am doing this exercise. Because my teaching style is Iraq model and PIFIRAC model. Everywhere where I taught. Whether I taught in the UDSM or whether I taught in the Lushoto, whether I taught in the Iringa or whether I taught in the Muslim University of Morogoro or whether I taught in the Bagamoyo University, whether I taught in the Tudarko, whether I taught in the Tumaini University, whether I taught in the Muko. Sir, how many places you taught, sir? Several places, wherever the law is there. But only the South Mwanza, I did not teach it, but as an external examiner. Sir, several times. Okay, now let us come to the point. These are the things which comes under the rules. Now let us go to our point of Christian. Yes. So, facts, you know that what are the relevant facts are there. Here I have given the facts, total facts. The plaintiff in the case was employed to operate the drill in a quarry. From time to time, stones were passing over his head in the sling, means crane, and he anticipated or hunched the danger would be there. Another day, a stone may fall, a boulder will fall on his head. Even though a whistle is given, either the negligence or by any other fault also, it doesn't matter. He brought the notice of the employer, but no sufficient measures were taken to safeguard him. One day, the stone fell over there. The stone actually is a boulder. Okay, you can say boulder or stone, doesn't matter, because we don't see your grammar, we will see your sentence structure, we don't see, you will see your whether you got an idea or not. So a stone fell down over and injured him. When he sued the employer for the negligence, the employee pleaded, because you know that when the stone quarry is there, you are given the warrant in not fit area for whatever the injury that you have gone. But there is no choice of him because of the livelihood. He has given the consent. It doesn't mean that he has given the free consent. The court decided in the favor of the plaintiff. Hence, this appeal is So this appeal is come over here to the court because now we will see that whether this court adjudicated, whether appeal is, I already gave you there, appeal is dismissed. Because the reason is, a man will work on the hazardous industry because of his livelihood, for the sake of the food, for the children, for the wife, for the father, for the mother, and he give the consent. It doesn't mean that it's a free consent. And if anything goes wrong, the negligence on the part of the employer should have to be held liable to pay the compensation. Mere assumption is not the question. We know that when you're working the quarry, there is the dangerous things are there because crane is operating over your head and passing the boulders from one end to the another end to the crusher. I don't know whether you see the quarry or not, where the boulders will be carried and broken to the different size of it, which can be used for the concrete of the roof and it can be used for the road also. The size of the concrete. Concrete means nothing but the stones. And the same concrete you can use in the railway lanes also. Is it clear?
Yes.
Okay, now let us come to the point
Yes.
issues are concerned. What are the issues are there in this case law? Number one, whether there was a negligent for not taking the measure to safeguard the plaintiff. Number two, that the plaintiff has given the free consent to undergo such a injury and continuing the situation was the dangerous, harmful in nature. See, when I was writing the numbers, please note down, I wrote the small Roman with the arrestor. I did not keep the full stop. Did you observe it? I wrote the small Roman, then arrestor. Arrestor means the circular bracket, end circular bracket, or the round bracket. But I did not put the full stop. If you put the full stop, people say you kijiji too. And if you don't put the full stop, people say you are a sharbaro. So whether I told, and the ending, did you observe it ending? Every ending will be the semicolon. You observe it. This is a semicolon. And this is a semicolon. But the last button is and I use the and. Is it visible to you?
Yes.
Yes. So I magnified it. Can I say I magnified it or I enlarged it?
Enlarge.
I say enlarged it. Magnifying comes with the convex lenses. Here I broadened it, means enlarged it. That is a very appropriate word. So the 5 issues are there. The plaintiff could be entitled to damages or not. So the 5 issues are there. How many rules are there? See here. Blith versus proprietary Birmingham is there. Pitts versus Hunt is there. Bowater, Rowley, Rickis. Actually, this is the case law. The facts which I have given, of course, this also comes over there. Is a Smith versus Baker, Huck versus Lord Advocate, and overseas tankship case law, Lynch versus Nuruddin case law. Sir, from where that you got this case law? From where I got this case law? I got this case law from here. Some of the cases I made myself because I know these are the cases which are support its stand. And here, again you have to keep in the mind, some cases are in dissenting is there, we should not supposed to use it. And some cases which are relevant to it, that we are supposed to use it. And the cases when you choose it, it should be favorable to us. And the cases which is not favorable to us, we are not supposed to choose from here. So you can choose the cases what is given over here in the case law, number 1. Or if you having the knowledge, the other cases also very much useful, then you can cite the other cases also in addition to these cases or by eliminating these cases also. Because some of the cases, no, it is very difficult to understand it because we don't know what is the facts of the case law. At that instance, you can use such a case which he knows very well. If, for instance, here the decision in Fox versus Dunning is given, but I did not use it. Fox versus Dunning, I did not use it because it is I don't know what is the exact case. Did you see the Fox versus Dunning case law here? No, I did not use it. Because I thought that that case law may give the different sense. So better you use that case law which is very much favorable to it. But how could we know it? Suppose if you don't know the case law which is not favorable to it, use that case law which is already given in the decision. If it is the case law which is given in the decision, use the case law. For the decision of the first versus Dunning and hearsay was the same effect. What effect? The above case law effect. What is the above case law effect? New Amsterdam Casualty Company versus Reinhardt Donovan Company. That is the effect which is having. What is that? That the provision of the Workmen Compensation Act, except the hereinafter noted, the exclusively that the cause of action for the recovery of the damages for the pain suffering could not be maintained, although there is no provision of the Workmen Compensation Act for the compensation for the pain suffering would be there. Even though there is no such a suffering would be there in the Workmen Compensation. But the consent which is given is not the voluntary consent. That is a very important factor that we have to emphasize in it. So use those case law which are there in the cases, and if you know the other cases also you can use it, provided you have to have the thorough knowledge, because this is a take-home examination. So instead of using this case law, they use it of their own. But in your examination, you cannot make a such a thing. Use the case law which is already there in the judgment. Are you following me? Use that case law which is already given in the judgment, because you cannot have that much time to go through it unless until you know.
Sir?
Yes. Do you want to ask anything? Do you want to ask anything?
Yes, sir. I did not get you properly. Please, would you mind to repeat the past 3 lines which you have said?
Better use the case laws which is given in the judgment.
Okay, sir.
I repeat. Better use the case laws which are giving in the judgment. If you know the other case law also having the same effect, you can use that case law also, even though it is not given in the judgment. Any doubt?
Okay, thank you, sir.
Because I gave this case law as a home assignment. And they read the other cases, they are very relevant to this one. So they mention the different cases. But in the examination, you cannot do so. In examination, you have to maintain the same case law which is having the effect, and that case law which is support to your issue. And because the 4 issues are there, 5 issues are there, which case law will support to the issue that is favorable to you, you have to use it. And you have to make it out. And those cases should appear in the rules. So that is my contention. In case there is not at all a single case law is there in the judgment, how do you do it? If it is a take-home examination. If it is a take-home examination, even not a single case law would be there in the entire judgment. What are the issues are there where you can frame it, and to prove the issues, what case law that you have to add it, you can add those case laws under the rule. Even though the judgment, not a single case law is there. That is the way of writing the case brief. Use your talent. In addition to the cases which is cited over there, or you can use your own cases which will strengthen your issues. Unless until you know what is the case law, will strengthen the issues over there. At the time, a broad spectrum of the knowledge, if you have it, then only you can do so. Otherwise, you use that case law which is already there in the decision. Is it clear?
Yes.
Yes, Professor. Yes,
Any
Professor.
doubts?
No doubt.
Yes. So that is the way that you have to write it when you are citing the cases are concerned. Now let us go to resume it, our talks are concerned. Yes, application. Take the first issue, and apply the rules here. And here I wrote, as to the first issue is concerned, and supported case law I have given. because I know that it is a very much relevant case law. And when you come to the second issue, see, first issue is only one paragraph. Did you observe it? Only one paragraph. Because time factor. You cannot write so many. Even though there are two cases are there relevant, but you cannot write it because time factor. And the second issue, coming to the second issue, again, only one paragraph I made it. Did you observe it? Only one paragraph. And I cited one case law. And as to the third issue is concerned, I cited one case law and third issue I made it. This is the third issue. Did you observe it, which I highlighted? And the case law which I used is Watoto Watundu ki Kiswahili. I made the lunch versus Nuruddin case law. And in the come to the fourth issue is concerned, again, only one case law that I used it and one paragraph. Please, time factor. You cannot write the two cases. You cannot make it out. But what is given in the judgment, you have to put it over there and try to wind it up. And to the last issue is concerned, which is set to be the fifth issue, and only one case law that I made it here. Either you can choose from the cases which is given over there, relevant, or similar nature of the cases. If you have the knowledge, then you can cite the cases also there. Because that is called the case briefing. The talent you have to use it. The capability that you have to use it. The caliber that you have to use it. The sharpness that you have to use it. Because for making the stand of one issue, there are many cases are there. Am I right?
Yes,
To make a
Professor.
stand of one issue, there are many cases are there. Both reported, unreported, local or foreign.
Right, sir.
Is it clear? Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, Professor.
You have to give the answer, otherwise I cannot move. Okay, now the conclusions are concerned. See, first issue, and what is the conclusion here? But don't write first issue conclusion, second issue conclusion, third issue conclusion, fourth issue conclusion. No, each paragraph shows first issue. The second paragraph shows second issue. And third paragraph shows third issue. And the fourth paragraph shows fourth issue, conclusion. Means court held. Conclusion means
Decision of the court.
the decision of the court held. And the fifth is like this. There ends the matter. And it is edited by me, Saheb Hussain, the one of the students, he wrote it, Christina, and she is the Sekuko student, Lushoto. There I used to teach the law of tort and legal methods. So you can use your talent by using the another cases also, but you should have the thorough knowledge in it. If not, better use that case law which is given in the judgment. Either one case law or two case law, doesn't matter. Suppose if you have given the sections and given the enactments, yes, that should be reflected in the which side heading? That should be reflected in the which side heading?
Rules.
Rule. So what are the things which come under the rule? Say, anyone can unmute and say, what are the things comes under the rule caption? Anyone can unmute and say.
Precedent and sections.
Tosha, I
Latin
gave
maxims.
4 items, 5 items I gave under the rule. Number 1, cases. Number 2, sections of the enactments. Number 3, Latin terminology or maxims. Number 4, the Good Samaritan like the Professor Isa Shuji. Number 5, dictionaries. Number 6, encyclopedias. If it is supporting any one of the issue. Is it clear?
Yes,
Yes,
Professor.
it is.
These are the things should come under the rules. So, for an example which I have given here, and I go to the conclusion also I made, first issue, first conclusion, second issue, second conclusion, third. So, how many issues are there? So many paragraphs should appear on the conclusion. is a mathematical 2 into 2, 4. So this is the style of writing the case briefing. And we can say outlining the case also. But the Sharabaro style of saying is case briefing. In case briefing, the entire judgment will be given and you have to write in the P-FIRAC model. Now I will ask you, suppose sir, if a problem is given, what should be the method? Problem is nothing but facts. Is it clear?
Yes, Professor.
When the facts are given, you need not worry about the procedure. You have to start. Introduction. The facts which are given in the case law is similar to the so-and-so case law. Number one. Number two, you have to frame it, the issues are concerned. Because problem question is Iraq model. I-R-A-C. I for the issues. But the introduction where you are writing, the facts which are given in the problem question is similar to a particular case law. If you know it. Next, what are the issues are there in the facts? Number one, number two, number three, number four, you can make it out. Sir, there is no dictionary. In the facts, there is no dictionary. In the facts, there is no case law. In the fact, there is no case law. But based on the issues, you have to frame your own case law. And this case law, definitely your Moalimu taught in the class. And Moalimu will not give the case law which is not taught in the class. And Moalimu will that case law facts which are taught in the class, and the relevant case law also they is given it. Suppose if you know the other supporting case laws, yes, you can write it. If you don't know the supporting case laws, just you can use your logical reasoning under the issues. Because there is no cases there on the problem question. And you have to generate it from where it is given. And how many cases will come under it. And what are the relevant case laws are there. If you know it, you can do it. Or any other maxim will be applicable over there or not. That comes under the issues. Then take the issues and what are the rules are there. Either the decided cases, or any sections, or any enactments, or a dictionary meaning, or a Latin terminology. A maxim is there. You apply the issues to the rules, then you make the applications in the analysis. First paragraph, second paragraph, third paragraph, respectively the first issue, second issue, and third issue. Once you made it out there, then you write the conclusion. That is called problem solving. A problem solving, you should not know the facts of the case law very well, and that facts of the case law is Moalimu taught you in the class. So that is the way of writing the problem question in the Iraq model. I stand for issue, R stand for the rules, A stands for the applications or arguments, and C stands for conclusion, nothing but the head. So a problem question should be solved in the Iraq model, and a case briefing should be solved in case briefing is solved in P-FIRAC model. P-FIRAC model, you can say, or method, you can say, or style, you can say, but generally they know method, they use the word. And this method, did you hear any time when you're studying the LLB here, the P-FIRAC model or Iraq model? Keep your hand on your moyo, tell me. Please tell me.
Pass on.
What pass on? What did it mean by pass on? Where did you study it? Your LLB.
Repeat the question, Prof.
Where? Where did you study your LLB?
Iringa.
Iringa. Who taught you law taught?
Yeah, Madam Revira.
That Levira who became a judge.
Yes.
When the Levira was there, I came here to teach it. But later on, she moved to the Ruku. Then I taught there law of taught for not 1 year, 2 year, 5 years. I taught law of taught and private international law for the 3 years. Whenever I teach anywhere, I use the Iraq model, I use the P-FIRAC model. You ask my students who studied in the 2004 to 2015 in the UDSM, the law of taught. I taught in the Iraq model, I taught in the P-FIRAC model. Now they are saying, those who went to the law school of Tanzania, sir, your teaching has helped me a lot because we don't know what is P-FIRAC, what is Iraq. There it becomes a very easy to do because they grill you in the case briefing by the P-FIRAC model and they will grill you by giving the problem questions. Sir, your teaching will help me a lot. From the 2004 to 2015, the UDSM, I followed this model. It is not an exaggeration. It is not the blowing my own pipe. It is the reality. You can check it also. You can cross-check it also, my students. Even my students, you check their handouts, those who are given, I gave the model of the P-FIRAC model, I gave the model of the Iraq model, and several models I have given them before I am going to ask them in the examination. Whenever I teach, I give the handout to them. And these people, the class representative will make it in a Xerox center, and Xerox center from there they will take the handout as soon as the chapter is over. But there I do have the printing facility. That's why I used to give the hard copy to them. But here I didn't have the printing facility. That's why I'm giving the soft copy to the class representative, and the class representative will take the printout, or you will give the soft copy to all of you. And where you can have the print, you can print it. If you don't have the printer facility, you can just read it also. Anyone? One has given the answer that you studied in the Levira when the dean is there. That is the Tumaini. Any other person from the UDSM? No one. It is Professor Hussain only teach in that style. No one can teach in that style except in the LST, Law School of Tanzania. Are you following me?
Yes.
It is the open secret.
Okay, sir.
Wherever I teach the law of taught, either in the Sekuko, Lushoto, or in the Muslim University of Morogoro, or the University of Bagamoyo, where the Vice Chancellor is the present Ambassador, Professor Costa Rica Mahal was there. I use only the Iraq model and P-FIRAC model to the students, the law of taught. Even I taught in the Tudarko, which is there in the Moenge. Andrew Mollal is working there as a DVC now. And there also I taught in the same style, law of taught, in the P-FIRAC model and Iraq model. Wherever I teach is this same method. Because that is the instinct in me, that is in my DNA. Is it clear?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Now if you want to ask anything, you can ask it, but the time is running up. Now the 10 o'clock is there because I started by the 9:10, and I don't know, today the Cisco WebEx is very much kind enough to you. Otherwise, it will be closed by the 45 or 40 minutes only. But today they are giving a relaxation to you to ask certain questions or ask any other things or concern. Yes, you can. If you want to ask, you can ask me. You can try any case law, but try to take the case law from small pages. Otherwise, you will be kufa. You will dead
Sorry.
in the examination. Yeah. Yes. See, this is my
I
style.
want to know.
Yes.
Okay. I want
Speak
to know the
loudly.
difference between IRAC and the. I would like to know the difference between IRAC and the PFRAC.
A case briefing is called P-FIRAC model, where the total judgment is being given and the Iraq model only the facts are given. Any doubt?
So
Case briefing, the whole judgment is given to you in P-FIRAC model.
okay.
In Iraq model, only the facts will be given to you.
Okay, sir.
The high technique would be there to write his Iraq model problem solving, not P-FIRAC model. But in P-FIRAC model, one should be very much talented enough and precise enough, sharp. Sikiliza mimi darasa, asante sana na shukuru sana, Mungu akubariki na kukulinda.